Hi, everybody. I'm Christon Gibson with Newport Living Lifestyles.
And I'm Jenn Little with Jenn Little Media. It's good to see you here.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun at the Newport Charter Yacht Show.
Wasn't it great between the little dogs and all the different people, the Bermuda shorts? It was a great time.
Loved it, and such a variety of yachts there. And everybody was so nice and accommodating. And thank you all so much for your videos and interviews. It was so fun.
We had such a great time, and we're excited to share with you our presentation right here on the website.
Yes, put in your best face /yacht forward.
Let's go. So we started off with simple strategy, and we wanted to give you guys some tools, some real things that you can take back with you so that after this presentation, you're going to learn about Facebook groups.
Oh yeah, and putting your best face forward with pillars and daily posts and what those pillars will consist of.
Right, talking about the amenities of the boats, destinations,
the captain, the crew,
testimonials,
how to make lifestyle so effervescent in your posts.
Images and videos are super important. We're going to show you how to use them.
Yes, and make it uniquely your brand.
And how to stand out personally.
Show up consistently.
Which is really, really tough, isn't it, Christon? We feel your pain.
Yeah.
And which platforms to use? What social media platforms to use?
Why social media? Hate it or love it?
I love it.
Some days.
That's
Most days.
That's
yeah.
right. Exactly. Social media has become a medium that is used as a measuring stick for the world. So think about this. In the past, people come across your business and they might Google you or they might call you. But nowadays, people take it one step further.
Yeah, so not only are they just not looking at your website, they're going to your social media to see who you really are, what brand you're representing, what that lifestyle looks like, how does it make them feel, and how is it going to make their clients feel? Because they're going to put you with their each specific clientele for each yacht.
That's right. So instead of saying, hey, this is who we are, now you really have to tell a story, and you have to tell that story using images and copy and video.
Definitely video.
That's right. There's a difference between the traditional media and the new media, and we hope to bring you some tips, some pro tips and tricks that we both learned so that you can start implementing them right away.
Yes. Using video to share your services, telling your story versus showing your story.
What does that mean?
I know.
It sounds so hard to understand, but it's really pretty quite simple. It's just a shift.
Yeah.
It's a shift from showing your boat's attributes, how many beds, how many baths, if there's a jacuzzi, all those types of things, to telling your story. Maybe you have a chef on board that's been cooking for years and has a really special style with Asian cuisine. See the difference?
Yeah, maybe you show some of your clientele in the jacuzzi boat.
Exactly. So you share about an experience. Maybe there's a captain that really knows how to do some hidden gems, some secrets of the destination that you're going to.
Yeah, so you want to show that visual so people can really get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So people showing on the toys that are on the boat.
And video can really help you do all these things because you're pulling in your dream client into the experience on top of telling them all of the attributes of the boat.
Yes. How to get new views and customers. So Facebook groups.
This is right. This is pro tip number 1. Facebook groups is a really efficient way to speak to your dream client because let's face it, a lot of us agonize over the daily post. I have to post, I have to post, I have to post. But Facebook doesn't work in your favor. It only shows that post to 2% of your audience. Facebook groups is very targeted.
Yeah, so we're going to show you several different ways that you can get more exposure from your page, and this is one of them. So we pulled a couple of groups that are to your industry specific. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I needed that for some reason. I couldn't get to the
high fives.
Yeah,
high fives.
Yeah. Thank you. So Yacht Friend International, this right here has 11,000 members. That's not too many. That's kind of a sweet spot because you don't want to get into some groups that are so large. I mean, you want to be in as many groups industry related as possible, but you might get seen more posting in this one. So when you join a group, you do have to make sure though that they're allowing you to post specific things. So you don't want to do anything that you might get kicked out of, but just read the rules. They'll tell you what they are, but it's just really great because when you post to your page, it's just your friends and your followers seeing it, but when you post them, you're getting introduced to a whole new group of people.
That's right. And for those of you backing up a little bit that don't know what a group is in Facebook, there is an area, an icon on your Facebook homepage that looks like three little people standing next to each other. Click on that and that will bring you into groups. When you get into groups, in the upper left-hand corner, there's a field, a search field that has a little microscope. Type in there anything that you want, and they're going to serve up, Facebook will serve up to you all the groups that fall under that category. Talk about being efficient. So here are a couple that, as Christon had pointed out, Facebook groups that might have your dream clients sitting in there, commenting, posting, watching what's going on in your industry. So if you pull up luxury yacht charters in Facebook groups, you'll get a whole list, these and more.
Yeah, and another point that Jen has made previously is you want to engage people in conversations when they comment on your posts, and you'll get notified. You'll get a notification. So you do have to stay a little bit on social media. And I know that that's one of the things that people find a little bit tedious about it, but maybe you can have somebody who's already integrated into social media kind of help you with responding to people, and you just be friendly and yourself, and that's engaging. People love that.
And there's another way not to feel like a ricochet rabbit when you're dealing with social media, I think, right? Blocking out time in your calendar, a small amount of time. You can get really productive. Pick 2 or 3 of these groups, and then 15 minutes once a week. Go in there, like a bunch of comments, like a bunch of posts, say something back, just be on the radar screen, but only 15 minutes a week. That's pretty doable.
Okay, I'm going to try that then next time.
Sounds good. Okay, ideas to show your unique value proposition. So now we've talked about the importance of being on social media, but how do you create content and how do you stand out using video? Because a lot of people are very afraid to use video personally. And what I mean by that is your mother brands, probably the ownership of the yachts, are doing these beautiful mother brand videos. They're probably about 1 minute to 2 minutes in length, and they have this beautiful footage of the boat, the yacht, the destinations, and it's really well done, right? So how do you use video to personalize it so that you can really attract your dream client?
Yeah, and each of your yachts are so specific in some of their unique value propositions, just like you in your industry are. So maybe do a cooking show with one of the ones that really has a fantastic chef on board, right? So you guys could do something, whether it's weekly or monthly or a couple times. I mean, you guys get to choose, and you just put it together.
That's right. And then maybe a cocktail of the week. Maybe you really kind of carve out a theme. That sounds like fun, right? Schedule.
Can we join
I'll block out that 15 minutes.
We want to join you on that.
Maybe an hour.
Yeah. Another really fun thing is to have your yachts or captain maybe on a podcast or a TV show. You bring them on. I mean, what greater value than that can somebody have with you?
That's right. And nowadays with our iPhones and then a simple tripod, it's really easy to capture short form video, and don't be afraid to post it to social media. You don't have to have a perfect, highly produced video on social media. The more authentic and the more real, the better. It's really about showing up. Hey, another good idea is having testimonials. So having your dream client talk about their experience.
Absolutely. And, you'll want to make sure that if you're going to do that, maybe set it up in your process where when they're signing a contract with you, they also either sign a release or ask them up front if they want to be, if you can use their material in your social media to help your, yachts clients and get more referrals and really show the lifestyle. Another thing is there's a lot of yacht magazine sponsors that are a part of this show that you could reach out to and maybe write an article about your yachts and just, and then you could and cross promote and lead them back to some videos, and you can mention that in the article as well. So
absolutely great ways to position your unique value proposition using video and standing out.
That's right. So if you're going to use your clients' footage and testimonials, you might want to use this as a reference for a signed release, just so that later on, if they decide, can you take that post down? You're like, oh, that post included all this other video too. So you have to take the entire thing down. So if you get signed releases up front, it's just a very helpful way to make sure up front that you can use anything.
That's right. It's really important, Kristen, that you have that media conversation. So make sure when you're negotiating, you're talking through what the client contract looks like, that you have a paragraph that addresses media. It's a media release. This document could be used as a template. That way there, for the people who hate social media, you're respecting their privacy. But for the people who will be posting their own posts and maybe even tagging the yacht and the company, then you can really leverage that connection and they're comfortable and then be able to cross promote that on your social media.
Love it. Oh, client meetings with Zoom.
That's right.
Put your best face forward. One of the things is you might want to have a checklist or protocol where that your computer or your tripod is set up in the same exact place every single time, that it best shows the background of your yacht or the meeting that you're having with your clients.
That's right. It's important to have certain things like good lighting. So let's show you a concrete example. Turn the light away. If we turn it away and you look at our faces, ready?
Mm.
See, it's a little bit dark.
Not too bad.
It's not too bad because the lighting here is pretty good. But when you put it on like this, it's just that much better, right?
Just that much better. Yeah. And we'll go over some of the settings in Zoom to help you with that as well.
Lighting and angles. So making sure that your computer, for example, we have a 3-inch prop here that helps lift the computer up so that we are talking. We're not really sitting on the bottom. I love these Zooms when you're like this. It's really not the best way to do it. So make sure you have a checklist before you go live with your client. Make sure you have a checklist of how you can put your best face forward in a Zoom call.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay, some settings.
My favorite part.
Yes.
This is so much fun because I didn't even know this until we went through COVID, in that you can actually have some really cool filters within the Zoom application so that you can look your best.
That's right. So you can actually adjust the lighting. So if your room or atmosphere is a little too dark, you'll notice under settings that you can go over and slide the light a little lighter or a little darker, depending if what the lighting is in the room. So that's really clever. You can do some fun facial things.
That's right, ladies. You can put on some eyebrows, some lipstick, and you don't even have to spend any time in the bathroom getting ready for that Zoom. You literally press a button and you're Zoom ready.
Yeah, and you can change the background of your Zoom call too. So if you're in a situation where the background is just not great, you can see on my picture here that I've just added a beautiful scenery in the background. So there's so much that you can do to enhance your face, the lighting, the background, your entire space, to make sure that that Zoom call is putting your best face forward.
And we didn't even know that. You can just go right into the settings area, which is right within your Zoom, and it's very, very easy.
Yes. Some equipment that you will make your life easy, and please put this in your protocols when you're setting up for your meetings. I love Movo smartphone video kit. I love Movo products. So really anything they have. This kit is really a starter kit to anything and everything that you're going to need. I mean, it has the tripod, so in case you need to do some different scaling. Also your phone settings, if you're going to use your phone, is perfect at that 1080 with the 60 FPS. What does FPS mean?
That's frames per second.
That's right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But that way, if you try to do the 4K, it's too much to download. You really don't need to be there right now. I mean, barely, that's like TV quality. So the 60 is perfect. This has a handheld gimbal if you need to. The lighting, the microphone, and the click to shoot is actually so clever because you don't have to be right next to your phone to go in and push the button. You can just click it and it'll start the video and or camera for you from afar.
It's a remote, which is fantastic. And if you're not technical and it makes you feel a little bit nervous, what's great is you can always bring on an intern or somebody younger. Once you have this kit, you can basically say, this is what I want. We're going to do a cooking segment weekly, and you're all set up to shoot and you're ready to go.
Or you can just push the button. Not a big deal.
Very easy.
Hundreds of yachts. Why work with you?
Well, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And how better than using social media and video to get people to understand your story and to be able to communicate and connect with others.
Perfect. Best impressions featuring your company brand guidelines and a handbook checklist, which is one thing we've really been trying to integrate into this presentation.
That's right. So thinking through in terms of your brand and how you're putting your brand out there to attract your dream client, set social media protocols. Really take a step back and think about your social media. How often do you want to post? Are you going to get in those Facebook groups? And then think about, what are you going to talk about specifically? Because if you post random, you'll get random results. But if you tell your story in a real strategic way, you're going to attract the people that you want.
Yeah, and you can set up protocols for social media. You can set up protocols for your Zoom calls, which we discussed, and also your video protocols. So when I produce my videos, I always have my logo kind of shoot out at the front end, and then I always have a tagline signature sign off. So you can have those openings and closures too for your brand. I just think it adds some consistency. It doesn't have to be super long. It can just be something that is uniquely you.
That's right. And be online and be seen and show off your social media accounts. That's where your customers are. And so there are many different platforms. We like to use these 3 platforms in particular. And the reason why is because as we're talking about video, sometimes it can be overwhelming. You can actually shoot one video and then repurpose that video and place them on all of these social media platforms.
Yeah, and each of them are so unique. So YouTube, they actually encourage you to use longer video. So you might want to do a 20-minute video. And from that one video, you can then take shorts and pictures from it, which then can then be placed on Facebook and Instagram. So it doesn't seem like an overwhelming process once it's put that way. You don't have to shoot a whole bunch of different things for different things. You just edit the one long one.
That's right. And what's really great, what Christon just said, and it's another pro tip, which I love, is that say you shoot a 3-minute video. Within that 3-minute video, you could quite possibly walk away with 10 pieces of content, meaning you could grab 10 of the video clips within that 3 minutes and make them individual posts, which is very resourceful. And it also saves you time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to us and we can help you with that.
That's right. And breaking news too is most recently Instagram came out saying that video is the number 1 priority. So video is not going away. It's only getting more important.
Mm-hmm. How to get new views and customers. So Jen, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's a hashtag?
I've never heard that before, Kristen.
We get that all the time.
We really do. It's like the top
What's a hashtag?
Question that we get. And so if you can picture a hashtag as a huge filing cabinet, it's a place to organize your content and find content.
That's right. I like to speak to it as almost like a small group. So people can follow a hashtag. You can follow a hashtag. You can follow our hashtags if you like. Hashtag Jen Little Media.
2N Jenn.
2N Jenn. I love it. Or hashtag Newport Living Lifestyles. And when anybody puts those hashtags within their post, it shows up in that feed. So anybody following it will see it, just like when you post to your pages and your followers see your posts, they will also see any of those posts that are using those hashtags. So here's a few hashtags that are industry related. So you can put these inside of your post because if anybody's following them, they'll see your posts.
That's right. It makes your post more searchable.
That's right. Into a broader group of people. Yeah.
Getting new views and customers. That's probably the second most asked question. And what's always asked is, what's the difference between tagging and at mentioning?
That's right. So when you're tagging somebody, it's the video or the picture. So on Facebook and Instagram, when you use the @ symbol and you type out the name of the business or the person's name, you'll see a list of options that come up and you click on one and it highlights. So when you do that, it shows up into their feed. They can see, they get notified, and that gives you more exposure.
That's right. Tagging and at mentioning, it's a simple way to think about it like this. Tagging is picture related. Anything that there's a picture, you can tag a face, and that person will then be notified that you tagged them. An at mention is text. That's in your caption. That's when you're writing out your post. You at mention somebody and their profile comes up as text in your caption and they get notified that you're sharing the love. So whether you tag or you at mention, you're sharing the love, you're giving them that exposure, and they're going to know that you've done that.
Yeah. And it takes about 21 times for people to start recognizing a brand. I mean, the number could be much higher now, but it used to be 7 back when Coke and Pepsi were competing. Now it's over 21. So the more you're tagging and hashtagging, the more they are seeing you and you are getting brand recognition. So here are a couple of companies that you may want to tag, hashtag, and mention within your posts, and especially the magazines and the I'll just stick with the magazines for now. So the yachting magazines, people follow those because they have interesting articles all the time. So when you tag them, you're going to show up in their feeds. They'll get notified and maybe even possibly share one of your posts.
Absolutely. It's a great way to make relationships and to get some earned media, which is really some press. So if you targeted some certain publications and you at mentioned them or tagged them, then they're going to know it and they might then turn around and share your post to their large audience. So it's just increasing that reach.
Yes.
So find us online. We're talking about social media. We love social media. We're online as well. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. There's our accounts right there. It's another way to be able to communicate. And you can find us right there. I'm at Jenn, 2N, Jenn Little Media.
And I'm at Newport Living and Lifestyles. So anytime you tag me, and in fact, a couple of you have already started tagging Newport Living and Lifestyles, and I definitely am seeing you. Mm-hmm. And you just never know if anybody will, and so that gives me brand recognition for your firm. So if I ever have the opportunity to refer somebody, of course, that yacht is going to be the one that shows up in my mind first.
That's right. And if you need to ask us a question and you want to direct message us at Instagram, that's my favorite platform. Feel free to go right in there. And did you know you can actually direct message us using like voicemail? You hit the little microphone, you start speaking, you have a minute to leave a message. So it's a great way to communicate.
It really is. My favorite way is Facebook Messenger. And so it's funny, we all have our different ways to communicate, but of course you can always call.
That's right.
Email or text.
That's right. And I think this is our next slide because I know during the presentation, we put this up and people were so generous to be able to try to write down our information and we kind of went right past this. So we'll pause on this for a minute and feel free to reach out to any of us through these different places and contacts.
And we would love to hear from you. Any questions at all? We love to chat all the time.
There are never any stupid questions. Mm-mm. No, especially with social media changing daily.
Every week. Yeah, daily, weekly. It's
Absolutely.
Always changing and updating. Well, we're going to sign off for now, and we look forward to seeing you on Newport Living and Lifestyles.
And Jenn Little Media. Thank you.
Have a good day.